Welcome, I'm Eileen Chung, the Programs and Audience Engagement Intern at the Colby College Museum of Art in Waterville, Maine. This is Artful Movements. Artful Movements is a part of the museum's wellness initiative under the larger program Let Art Inspire. In this program, we select an artwork from our collection and we pair it with a yoga pose. Before we dive into the yoga portion of this program, let's first look at the artwork that inspired this month's theme, Let's Get Lifted. Today, we look at the work by Ernest Blumenshine called Untitled Mountain Wood Gatherers, made in 1926. Ernest Blumenshine is an American artist and founding member of the Taos Society of Artists. The Taos Society of Artists was an organization of visual arts founded in Taos, New Mexico in 1915. It disbanded in 1927. His work is noted for paintings of Native Americans, New Mexico, and American Southwest. The Taos Art Colony is founded in Taos, New Mexico, by artists attracted by the rich culture of the Taos Pueblo and beautiful landscape. Even 30 years after first experiencing the majestic landscape of New Mexico with fellow artist Bert Gear Phillips, Ernest Blumenshine continued to be enthralled by its beauty. Blumenschein painted at least two other versions of this view of the Sangre de Cristo mountain range during the mid-1920s. With brilliant fragments of color and dark, linear shadows. Entitled Mountain Wood Gatherers evokes the experience of standing before a stained glass window, rather than a painted canvas. Blumenschein skillfully underscores the connection between his human subjects and the landscape by clothing the figures in red cloaks that mimic the surrounding rocks. The yoga pose that accompanies Blumenschine's painting is a Revolve Triangle pose. The benefits of the Revolve Triangle pose include strengthening and stretching the legs, stretching the hips and spine, opening the chest to improve breathing, relieving mild back pain, stimulating the abdominal organs, and improving sense of balance. The form of the yoga pose alludes to that of the mountains and rocks in the painting. The balance achieved for this pose would reflect the sturdiness of the unmovable mountains. Now let's visit our partners at School Street Yoga who will lead us in our yoga practice.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Haberstock. Welcome to School Street Yoga and to Artful Movements. You've now heard about the art portion of the program, and now we'll get into the yoga portion. So get yourself settled. It might be on a chair, it might be on a pillow or a blanket, or you could sit on a block, a yoga block if you have one, or a book, but make sure that you feel comfortable. You can rock a little forward and back. If you're in a chair, please have your feet flat to the floor and be kind of forward in the chair, so that you can have a straight back. Just take a deep inhale through the nose and let it go out the mouth, please. Let's do that again and just put one hand on your heart. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out the mouth. As you do that, soften in the front body a little. Sometimes when we sit up straight, we jut our chest forward, and it cuts off some of the breath. So one more time, big inhale through the nose, softening the front body, and let your hand go. Palms could be face up or face down, and just allow the eyes to close and start to go inward. Begin to picture that beautiful mountain range you just saw in one of those paintings you were looking at. And just picture the body, like a mountain. So the foundation of the mountain is your legs, your sits bones grounding down, and then the top of the mountain is the crown of the head. And continue to just notice the breath, the natural breath. And just check in with yourself. What's true for you in this moment? Noticing what's true for your body. You might feel areas of tension that might show up as numbness. You might be feeling good in your body. You might have an injury. So just notice what's true. And what's true in your mind. Is it easy to settle? Is it hard to settle? What's true for you in this moment? And then emotionally, what's true for you? You might be feeling good. You might be feeling stressed out about something that's going on in your life. Just notice what you're coming to when you come to your mat right now for your practice. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever's true for you in this moment. Your practice, though, can lift you up. It's much like when you climb a mountain and you get to the top and you feel uplifted, looking out at that gorgeous view. Your practice can also be uplifting. It can also bring up things that are going on, so it can uncover things that are going on in your life as well. I'm going to read to you a bit as you continue to focus on the breath, noticing the breath, maybe deepening it. I'm going to read to you a bit about the joy that you can find in mindfulness. Rolf Gates says, "Joy dials us into the world around us. Our attention is right there. Our hearts are open, our minds are open, and our motivation is to know what is true. We are standing in compassion with an attitude of loving kindness, and the joy that we feel is without attachment, nothing extra. Caring deeply with an open heart and an open mind, we have the felt experience of the world around us." And Rolf Gates goes on to describe being in Germany when the Berlin Wall came down. And the feeling of being in the crowd of people, all feeling such joy, such freedom, such relief, and that it swept over him as well. He felt those same feelings. So we find when we feel joy in our lives, we all can imagine, we can all remember times we felt joy. Sometimes it's attached to something. For example, the feeling of falling in love is often attached to another person, or the image or idea we have of another person. When we feel joy mindfully, we're able to feel it without attachment. And that allows us to experience it with even more freedom. But we have to experience whatever's true for us in the moment. So we can't force ourselves to feel joy. We want to notice whatever it is we're feeling. Rolf Gates says, "Mindfulness is both spacious awareness and the awareness of being aware. It is also the spirit of adventure, the desire to learn more, the child's curiosity as she expands her discovery of the natural world in her backyard into an adult inquiry into what is true. The practice of joy reawakens our natural interest in things we do not know and have not thought of or felt before. Finding joy, and he goes on to describe finding joy in his daughter's exploration of science and going to science fairs. And he never had experienced those things before, but he found joy experiencing it through her. So just allowing yourself to even deepen the breath more. Maybe adding some ocean breath here, some ujjayi breath, so that you can hear the sound of the ocean in your breath. And then drawing palm against palm at heart center, please. You might feel the beating of your heart beneath your thumbs. Bow your head to your heart to set an intention for your class. And it might have to do with this idea of curiosity, of exploration, of feeling your way into the postures from the inside out and seeing what you find. And through our movement today, you might find a little bit of joy. But I invite you to find whatever is true for you today, in this moment. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. And release the hands down. We'll bring our hands by our sides. Inhale lifts the arms, might lift the chin, fingertips might touch at the top. Exhale, lower the arms and lower the chin. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale to lower. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, raise the arms. Make it a moving meditation with the breath. And then lower the arms down. Next time arms are raised, keep them raised. Reach more through right arm, more through left, right, and then left. And then we'll bring the right hand to the ground, our left arm over the ear. Look to the ceiling, inhale here, exhale, round, reach over the knee. Inhale, lift the arm, look to the ceiling. Exhale, reach. One more like that. Exhale, reach. Frame the knee with your hands and take 3 big breaths into the back body. Walk the hands to center and then walk your way back up. Inhale, reach the arms up, take the left hand down, right arm over the ear, look to the ceiling, inhale, exhale, reach over the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. One more like that. Exhale, reach. And then frame the knee with your hands and breathe into the back body. 3 breaths. Walking your hands back to center. And this time, pull on the floor, arch the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. One more like that. Finding your way back up to center, we're going to come to standing at the front of our mat in Tadasana. Finding your way to the front of your mat, finding your standing pose, mountain pose, or Tadasana. Feet can be hips width distance or closer. Just stand up straight, but then take one hand to your heart, inhale deeply through the nose, and then as you exhale out the mouth, soften the front body. See if you're able to breathe not only in the front body, but the back body. Inhale, lift the arms. Maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, dive over the legs. Now bring your blocks to either side of your feet. Bring your hands to your blocks. So you might have your hands on the highest level, middle, or the lowest level. Inhale, bend the knees, find a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Bend the knees, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Please step the right foot back long. Now you may want a blanket here. So if you need a blanket under your knee, go ahead and put a blanket there, under the knee. We're gonna inhale, drop the back knee, lift the heart. Any height of blocks, you could use books under your hands as well. Exhale, straighten through both legs and fold. And just continuing this, following the flow of your breath. Inhaling, drop the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten and fold. One more like that. Next time your legs straighten, keep them straight. Step the back foot in enough to get the heel to the ground. So it might be a foot or so forward. Draw that front left thumb into left hip crease. Draw it back, and you'll begin to roll the top shoulder open. So you can use any height of block under that bottom hand as you roll the shoulder open and then lift the arm. Make sure the back heel is grounding down. So if it isn't, step it forward a little. And here's a version of our Revolve Triangle. Breathing here. Ground into that back foot. One more big inhale here. Exhale, lower the arm. Step it forward, hang over the legs. You can grab opposite elbows. And then let the arms go. Any height of block under the hands or hands on the mat. Bend the knees, big inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Look at the knees, ribs on thighs. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach to the sky, little back bend. Exhale, arms by your side. Pause there in your mountain pose, feeling that strength of the mountain. Look to the horizon. How do we act? How do we feel when we're feeling down? We often hunch the shoulders. We often look to the ground. Just the act of allowing our spine to be elongated, shoulders to soften back, and looking to the horizon can change our attitude. Inhale, reach the arms up, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take your left foot back long. Inhale, drop the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, bend the front knee, drop the back knee, and lift the heart. Exhale, straighten and fold. A couple more like that. Follow your own breath. Next time legs are straight, keep them straight. Step the back foot in a foot or so forward. Toes are diagonally pointing forward. Any height of block under that left hand. Take the right thumb into the right hip crease, draw the hip crease back, ground into the back foot, and lift the arm. Rolling bottom ribs up, grounding into the back foot. And then lowering the arm in your own time. Step it forward, hang over the legs. You can grab opposite elbows. Look to the knees, maybe shake the head, no, and then yes. Let the arms go. One flat back, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart center. Look to the horizon. Big inhale through the nose, let it go out the mouth. Finding your way to the center of your mat now, facing the long edge of your mat. Move your blanket out of the way if you have one. And then grab your blocks and put one on each side of the mat behind you, if you have blocks. And then take a wide straddle. Knees can, big toes can turn in a little. And then just reach your arms out, and you could just draw a line from your wrist to your ankle. Maybe. Your feet might not be that wide today. They don't have to be, but they could be that wide. So you just know that for each time you do it, you could make them a little wider. Let's clasp the hands behind the back, lift the heart big, inhale, exhale, fold. Breathing here, knuckles overhead, any amount. Let the hands go, please. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Hands to the hips once again. Rise all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Elbows towards one another. And then find center. Please, we'll turn the right toes 90 degrees. So I'm mirroring you now. So right toes 90 degrees. And then just begin to turn that back foot in slightly, just a little bit. So reach the arms out and then begin to tilt, reaching forward with the right hand. Your hand can come to your leg, back hand to the hip, or you can put your hand on a block at any height. Roll the top shoulder open and lift the arm, leaning back any amount. Notice that center point between the arms, between the shoulder blades. Could you lean that point back? Drawing right hip crease in. Triangle pose, Srikanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Parallel the feet. Clasp the hands with the other thumb on top. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Let the hands go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Hands to the hips, rise all the way up. Little back bend at the top. Elbows towards one another. and then find center. Left foot 90 degrees. Right toes can point to the long edge of the mat, or just you can turn them in slightly. We're drawing that left hip crease back. Right hand to back hip, left arm forward, reach it forward before you lower the hand to the leg or to the block. Now make sure that you're lifting the heart a little, so we're not tilting the heart towards the floor. The top shoulder rolls open, and then lift the arm. Drawing left hip crease back, legs are as straight as possible. Breathe here. Can you feel this pose from the inside out? Can you find full breaths in this pose? You might look up at the ceiling or down to the floor. And then inhale, draw yourself up to center. Parallel the feet once again, and then either step or hop your feet together. We're going to walk our way, grabbing your blocks to the front of your mat again, mindfully walking. Blocks framing the front of the mat. Find your mountain pose once again. Inhale, reach the arms up, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Using blocks or hands on the mat, inhale, bend the knees, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Taking your blocks out in front of you, the highest level, we can lift that right leg back behind us. Find a warrior 3. All 5 toes pointing to the ground behind you. And then blocks can step in to step that back foot back. Now you're stepping that back heel to the ground. Back toes diagonally pointing forward. And just make sure that any amount you're drawing that front hip crease back and that the back foot is grounded. We're going to lift the left thumb to left hip crease again, but you're welcome this time with Revolve Triangle to bring that right hand outside the foot. So you decide what's right for you, and then you can lift that arm. Breathing here. We can also have the hand still to the inside of the foot. So it's just what makes the pose right for you, what makes it more accessible. 2 more breaths wherever you're at. And then lower that hand back down. Step the back foot forward, hang over your legs. Let your arms go. You can bring your hands to the back of your calves and draw your hands down your calves, folding into yourself. And then let the arms go. Inhale, bend the knees, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to the sky. Look to the sky, little back bend. Exhale, palms to heart center. Pause there for a moment. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let the arms go. Feel the strength of the mountain. Look to the horizon. Feel yourself taller than you are. We have all these negative voices in our head many times. Why not put some positive voices there too? Think about the strength that you have. Be grateful that you're doing this practice right now, that your body can move in these ways. On an inhale, reach the arms up, little back bend. Exhale, dive over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to take the blocks in front of us. If you have blocks, you can also hold on to a chair or to a coffee table. Lift that back leg, that left leg. All 5 of the left toes are pointing to the ground. Heart is lifting. Rather than dipping the heart towards the floor, lift the heart. And then we're stepping it back, bringing the heel to the ground. Make sure the back foot is grounded, so if it isn't grounded, step it forward. Also be sure that your feet are on railroad tracks. You don't want to be in one line. You want the back foot stepped out to the side, to the left. And then any height of block under that left hand, right thumb to right hip crease, draw the right shoulder on top of the left, lift the arm, and you can stay right here. You can also play with moving that left hand to the right, to the outside of the right foot. Revolve Triangle. Can you find breath here? You can be looking down. You could try to look up. It's a little hard because it's a balance pose to look up, so you might want to look down. And then letting that go, lowering that arm, bringing that left hand to the left. Step it forward and hang. Little sway of the spine. One more time, hands on something. Inhale, flat back, bend the knees. Exhale, straightening the legs, look at the knees, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, little back bend. Exhale, palms to heart center. Just stepping your way back to the center of your mat, we'll find a squat, a Malasana. So feet are pretty wide. And you'll find your way down. So it might be, if you have knee issues, this might be your pose. It's kind of like you're perching yourself on a bar stool. Otherwise, you can come down lower and find your squat. Lengthen the spine, breathing here. Can you feel weight in the pinky toes? Press elbows into legs. We're going to rise up with the strength of our legs. So on an inhale, rising up, reach to the sky, 5-pointed star. Feel the expansiveness of this. Big inhale. Exhale, finding your way back down. It could be up here, or it could be lower. Breathing here. Now we're going to find our way sitting, facing this long edge of the mat. So take one hand behind, one hand in front, or any way that's best for you to come to a comfortable seat facing that long edge of your mat. So coming down onto your mat, facing the long edge of your mat. Have a blanket, if that's helpful, fold it up. And just sit at the edge of the blanket. And this is a nice way to come into this wide straddle, or Upavista Konasana, because your heels are on the mat. And we'll just begin to walk our hands forward a little. Lift the heart, inhale, exhale, round. Inhale, pull on the floor, arch the spine, exhale, round. One more like that. Inhale to arch. Exhale, round. Stay rounded now. Have the feet lightly flexed to keep the legs active. Tilting the pelvis as you come forward. You can bring forearms to the ground. If you're very flexible in this way, bring your head to the ground or a block. Breathing here. Can you breathe into the back body? Can you lengthen the inhales and the exhales? Three more breaths here. Inhale through the nose, please. Exhale out the mouth. Begin to slowly walk yourself back up. Please, you can draw the thighs in order to bring the soles of the feet to touch. Baddha Konasana. You can hold on to the ankles or to the feet and begin to tilt forward. Maybe you're pressing elbows into legs. If you do, also press legs into elbows. Breathing here. Lengthening the exhales. Inhale through the nose, please. Exhale out the mouth. Slowly press yourself up. We're going to find our way down onto our mats now. You might bring a block if you have one with you, or if you're using a thick book, you could bring that as well. And just making your way down onto your back. For a moment, hug the knees in, give them a squeeze, little rocking side to side. Bring feet flat to the floor, close to the hips. You can graze the heels with your fingertips. Feet are a little closer in than the outer hip distance. They're more sits bone distance. You can bring the block between the thighs, the narrow way. And if you don't have a block, don't worry. You could use a book, or you can just let that go. Bring the hands to the mat and just start to lift the hips, shimmy shoulders under you, and then lift the hips some more. You might stay right here, holding the mat. You might clasp hands under your back. Either way, bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. This is a great pose to do if you want to feel better. If you're feeling not so great, this pose can bring some joy, can make you lift your spirits. On your next exhale, let your arms go, and then one vertebra at a time, bring the spine back down. Please remove the block. Let the left leg go. Hug the right knee in, give it a squeeze. You can roll the right ankle one way and the other. Take the right knee to the left. Tee out the right arm, look to the right. 3 big breaths. Drawing the knee back to center, let the leg go, hug the left knee in, roll the ankle one way, the other way. Draw the left knee to the right. Tee out the left arm, look to the left. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth, please. Draw yourself back to center. You're welcome to find Shavasana right here on your back. You can let your legs go. You can have your arms by your side, or any other way of lying down that makes sense for you. You're also welcome to sit up in a meditative seat, so you do what's right for you. Wherever you're at, nothing left to do. If you're sitting up, just letting thoughts drift by like clouds in the sky. And if you're in Shavasana, you can let go even more. Slowly begin to deepen your breath, wiggling fingers and toes if you're in Shavasana, on your back. If you're sitting up, you could twist side to side, just waking up the spine. No rush to get there, but slowly making your way up to a comfortable seat if you're not there already. When you arrive, just allow the eyes to close. And I'll read you a poem by Sarah Carlson. I am vital. I feel energy flowing through me, the currents of my being melding together and making me whole. I am vital. I have given selflessly for so long, and now I know that it is not selfish to include me in my giving. I am vital. I have gifts that are mine to share, and I make a difference in those whose lives I touch. I am vital. I belong here in my place, and I finally understand that it is safe to be me as I am. I am vital. My body is strong, my life force flowing, my being free. I need not be perfect because I am vital, just as I am. Please draw palm against palm at heart center. Feel the beating of your own heart beneath your thumbs. Bow your head to your heart, your vital heart. Know that you're bringing your vitality out into the world. You bring your practice off your mat out into the world. Big inhale through the nose, let it go out the mouth. Namaste. I hope to see you again soon, either at School Street Yoga or at the next Artful Movements. Thanks so much.
I hope you have enjoyed today's yoga program. Be sure to like and follow us on all of our social media accounts at Colby Museum and visit us at colby.edu/museum to stay updated with all of our digital museum at home programs. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you for our next Artful Movements.